Yeah, hi, good morning everyone. So shall we begin? In the last class we discussed about what are the various conversion method by which we can convert from the old system to the new system, or how we can build to the, or how what are the various ways by which we can transfer to from or convert from the old system to the new system. For example, one of the method is the pilot testing or the pilot approach, in which both the systems are running concurrently. That is the pilot approach or the pilot method. One of the method is direct cutover. That means direct cutover from the old system to the new system. That is the direct cutover. Now, let's move to the next topic. That is what are the various conversion plans that is available that is used within the, or what are the plans that focus on, or that is what are the various activities that must occur, and how the new system will be developed. So let's begin with what are the various conversion plan, that is what are the various activities that occur, so that must occur within the new system and put into the operation. So the conversion plan includes a description of all the activities that must occur to implement the new system and put into the operation. What are the various activities that occurs to implement the new system, and what are the various activities that put into the operation. It identifies a person's responsibility or responsible for each activity and includes a timetable indicating what are the various methods or when each activity will occur, what are the various ways by which each activity will occur. That is the timetable that indicates which activity will be included. And during the pre-implementation stages, when the conversion is been planned, analyst should assemble a list of all the tasks that includes the following. What are the various tasks that is including for the pre-implementation stages? First one is list all the files for the conversion. So first step is list each and every file that is available in the database for the conversion, so that we we have not have any choice for implementation for conversions, but the computer have a choice and own authority to convert the files from one place to another, from one system to another. So list each and every file for the conversions. Then identify each and every data, that is identify all the data required to build new file during the conversion. Then list all the new document and procedures that go into the use during the conversion. What are the various methods, what are various provisions, what are the new document and the procedure that will go into the use during the conversion. Then identify all the controls to be used during the conversion. Establish a procedure for checking the old system and the new system. That is each and every control to be used during the conversion, and also the follow the establish the procedures for the cross checking the old and the new system, and determine how the team members will know if something has not been completed properly. The next one is assign the responsibility for each activity. So assign the responsibility to different personas, different person that is available. That may be a system analyst, that may be a production department, sales department, any of the department that is discussed, that is available, that is used for the conversion, that is assigning the responsibility for each activity. The next one is verify the conversion schedule. What is the conversion schedule that is followed for the conversion methods? So these are the 6 steps, these are the 6 stages that is used for the conversion plans for the for making the conversion successful, for implementing from the, or for conversion from the old system to the new systems. So this is said that during the pre-implementation stages, when the conversion is been planned, analysts should assemble a list of all the tasks that includes the following. So these are the following tasks that is included in the pre-implementation stages when the conversion is planned. So first one is list of all the files, or list all the files for the conversion. Then identify each and every data. So identify each and every data that is required to build the new files again during the conversion. Then list all the new document, the procedure that go into the use during the conversion. Then identify each and every control, that is identify all the controls to be used during conversion, and also establish a procedure for cross-checking the old and the new system, and determine how the team members will know if something has not been completed properly, that is if something has not been completed. So we have to control, or we have to manage that activity also. Then assign the responsibility for each activity. Then verify the conversion schedule. What is the conversion schedule that is followed? It is starting from this day and that day, and this is the deadline for this. So the conversion plan should anticipate possible problems and the ways to deal with them. So it is the conversion plan that anticipate the possible problems, what are the various possible problems, and what are the various ways to deal with them. That means what are the various solutions to the problems to deal the, or what are the various solutions to the problem that is carried out during the conversion methods. And among the most frequent occurring methods are the missing document. That documents are not available in the computer, not available in the organization. What we do with that document? So main problems occur with the missing document, mixed data format. For example, some are in the PDF format, some are in the Excel format, some are in the Word, JPG, and so on. There are different formats of the data. For example, that data is available. It is very difficult to make the conversion or to convert from the old system to the new system. Then mixed data format between the current and the new file, that is done. Errors in the data translation. For example, there is an error in the data translation, there is an error in the data movement or transfer. Then missing the data or the lost file that we have discussed, that is missing the documents, and this is the missing data or the text file or the lost file, that is almost the same. And the condition that were overlooked during the system development. So these are the various problems. So the conversion plan should anticipate these problems and find out the ways to deal with them. But when we talk about the most frequently occurring problem, that are the missing documents, mixed data formats between the current and the new files, errors in the data translation, missing data or the lost files, conditions that were overlooked during the system development. Now, a checklist will be available that is managed by the conversion manager. So the conversion manager must guard against the omission of the steps in the conversion. So it's the responsibility of the conversion manager who is responsible for the conversion manager. That is any personnel, that may be a system analyst also, that may be a general manager also. It depends on the organization to organization. So that manager must guard against the omission, that is omission of the steps in the conversion. And a checklist will prevent missed steps. So a checklist will be available to prevent the missed steps, that is what are the various missed steps that is available, that is used. And the personnel absence must also be expected and adequate fallback plan specified. And conversion timing is challenging since there are so many aspects of the conversions, ranging from the installation of the equipment to the ordering of the forms and the supplies. So that conversion timing is also challenges. So we have to face the challenge with the conversion timings also, since there are so many aspects of the conversion, ranging from the installation of the equipment to the ordering of the forms and supply. The next one is the operating plan. So operating plan is checking of all the arrangements. Checking of all the arrangement means how we can convert, how we can check whether the equipments are occupied correctly or not. That is the checking of the equipment. It includes reviewing the conversion plans, that is review what are the various conversion plans, verifying the delivery of equipment, software, forms, preparing the site and preparing the data and the files. So operating plan is checking for the arrangement, what are the various arrangement that is carried out, why we include the arrangements, how we can review the things, how we can review the methods. That is, it includes the reviewing the conversion plans, verifying the delivery of the equipment, software, forms, preparing the site and preparing the data and the files. First one is the site preparation. So analysts often work with the vendor personas to outline site, that is preparation guidelines. And the due importance should be paid to validation should be paid to the electric using, air conditioning needs, humidity control, space requirement. That is, what is the preparation of the site? What are the material that is used for with the site? What we need, what as a personnel, what as a system analyst, what as a user manager, what we need as a vendor personnel to outline the site, that is preparing the guidelines. And the importance should be paid, that means the due importance should be paid to electric using the air conditioning needs, humidity control, space requirements and so on. Then second one is data and the file preparation, how we can prepare the data for a new system to begin the master file and the system file that need to be entered into the system before the normal functioning of the system. So before it is entered into the system, there will be a new system that needs to be entered. There will be master files and the system file that must be entered into the system before the normal functioning of the system. Yes, Joseph, tell me what's your doubt? Yeah, first one we have discussed with the conversion plan, that is how we can use or what are the various conversion plans. Yeah, that is a planning in the mind before converting. Next one is the operating plan. Operating means how it operates. That is, we can say each and every arrangement before we can supply anything. That is known as operating plan. Yeah, this is a checking of all the arrangements that includes reviewing the conversion plans. That is, review means checking out the conversion plan, whether the conversion plan is successful, is valid or not. Verifying the delivery of the equipment, whether the equipment are correctly available or not, or fully delivered or not. Then software, what are the software that is available in the computer, forms, report generation, preparing the site, and preparing the data in the files. So first one is the site preparation. Analysts often work with the vendor personnel to outline site, that is preparation guidelines, and due importance should be paid to the electric using, air conditioning needs, humidity control, space requirements, etc. The next one is the data and the file preparation. For a new system to begin, first one is the site preparation. That means what are the various equipment, what are the various tools that is used in the site, that is used as a place where the production carried on. That is known as the site preparation. So analysts often work with a vendor personnel site to outline the site, that is preparation guidelines, and the due importance should be paid to using the electrical using, that is air conditioning needs, humidity control, space requirements. The next one is the data and the file preparation. What are the various data, what are the various file that is available or that is used during the operating or during the operation in the. And for a new system to begin, whenever we are using the master file, and the system file is the must, or we can say the first priority that is entered into the system before the normal functioning of the system. And the master file is generally created manually. There is no automated system for creating the master file, but that is only generated manually. So when it is generated manually, there is no, we can say, risk for generating them. And the number of records in the old system master file that must be available, that must be used with the record of new file that is used in the new master records. The number of records in the older system master file should tally with the number of records in the new master file. That means whenever we are operating for the old system to the new system, so we have to must care of the old system master files with the new system master file, whether they are equal. If there is any discrepancy among them, so please report to the system analyst or the manager, whosoever is taking care of all the activities. So the number of records in the older system master file should tally with the number of records in the new master files. And in case of the financial software, the balance brought forward should be checked for the validations before the implementation of the new system. So we have to use the balance forward situation. We have to mention the balance forward in the validation before implementation of the new system. So in case of the financial software, the balance brought forward should be checked for the validation before implementation, or before implementing anything of the new system. Now let's move to the summary. So any doubts anyone in the operating plan? No. Any doubts anyone in the conversion plan? So let's move to the summary of this chapter. So for admin, putting a new system into operation is usually complicated by the fact there is an old system that is already in the operation. That is the first point. We have already discussed that whenever we are going to build a new system, that is very, we can say, the risky, that is very complicated, because everything is done in the old system and every data is available in the old system. So how we can phase out the old system with the new system? Where the data came from? What are the old personnel that is required? If the personnel is knowing only the C and the new system is using the C++, that is very much difficulty for a personnel. So for admin, putting a new system into operations usually complicated by the fact that there is an old system that is already in the. The analyst has to deal with changing from something familiar to something new and the different. So something is new and something is different for this one. So for admin purpose, putting a new system into operation is usually complicated by the fact that there is an older system that is already running, and the analyst has to deal with the changing or challenging from something familiar to something new and the different. while also attending to the mechanics of the implementations. Now, since a concern for the simultaneous conversions and the implementation is useful, simultaneous means at the same time, old system is also running and at the same time new system is also running. Since the concern for the simultaneous conversion and the implementation is useful, so planning for the formal training of the user personnel in the operation of the new system is also important. So we have to plan for the training of the user personnel that is used in the operation. And a new method may also may drastically affect the people's lives by changing their work methods, work style, and the relationship with other employees. So what are the various new methods that will use that will affect the lives by changing their work method, changing their work style, and the relationship with other employees? And one of the most effective ways of dealing with the potential impact of these changes is to provide a well-designed program of training. That is one of the best way to make the potential impact of these changes is to provide a well-designed program of training in which we are going to impact we are in which we are going to deal with the potential impact of these changes. That is to provide a well-designed program of training. And the training program should include or that should also inform about the system in the general, inform the user about the specific operation, that is what are the various specific operation that is carried out within the system, and give the user some practice in operating the system. That means providing the training in operating the system. Then also provide the opportunity for the users, opportunity by the end users to give the feedback. If there's any problems in the system, to give the positive feedback to the we cannot send the positive feedback, give the correct feedback, so that if there's any difficulty, then you can write that difficulty also. Then provides ample opportunity to adjust to the new system. There, at least this requires 1 year, or at least this requires 1 month or 2 months. It depends on the size of the system to phase out the old system to the new system. So it provides the ample opportunity to adjust to the new system. Then provides the answer to the queries that is raised by the employees. This is also one of the main tasks that during the training, answers must be raised and that answers must be or that sorry questions must be raised and that questions must be answered to the peoples. So generate a feeling among the employee that the new system is their system. That means if the persons are using the new system, that means they are using their own system like the old one system. The quality of the training received by the personnel involved with the system in various capacities helps or hinders and may even prevent the successful implementation of the information system. Now, next phase that is available is a conversion. That is a process of changing from the old system to the new system. And there are two parts in this one. One is the conversion plan that includes a description that we have discussed right now. That is how the activities are able to implement the new system and put into the operation. It identifies the persons responsible for each activity and includes a timetable indicating which activity or when each activity will occur. And the operating plan is checking of each and every arrangement, that is all the arrangement that includes reviewing the conversion plans, operating plans, verifying the delivery of the equipment, software, forms, preparing the site, and preparing the data and the files. Now, these are the various questions. Just do one thing, take only 2 minutes or 3 minutes, read out the whole chapter. If there is any doubt, then please clear the doubts. Otherwise, these are the questions and you have to answer these questions. Just take 2 minutes to read out each and every topic. If there's any doubt, then please clear the doubt. So, you have read this. Yeah, tell me the doubts. I think, Larry, you were absent in that class when we discussed the training methods. So again, go back to what are the various training methods that is available. Now these are the various training methods. One is a vendor and the in-service training that is offered. So the vendor supplying the equipment. So best source of training on the equipment is a vendor supplying the equipment. And most of the vendors offer using or extensive educational programs as a part of their services. And in some cases there is a charge, but in many instances training is a free. So it depends on the organization to organization, depends on the vendor to vendor, whether the training should be free of course or whether the training should be charged. For example, when I talk about the IBM that offers the complimentary 2 and 3-day courses to purchasers of many mini computers and the mainframe computers. So that is one of the part of the training that is provided by the vendor and the in-service trainings. No, this is from the manufacturing point of view. In the same way, when the training is on the hands-on, the participants actually use the systems in the presence of the trainers also. And if there's any questions, that they can quickly be answered. And the system is also intended for the training. There is generally no rush to get the training out of the way that the productive use of the system can start. And training conducted at the organization location might be rushed, a danger that installation personnel must guard against the training. And these courses, which are generally provided for a fee, are presented to a personnel from many organizations that are acquiring or using the same system that is using the providing the training that is either free of cost or chargeable. Next one is the in-house training. Yeah, the in-house means within the organization. There's no matter to go to the training, go for a training to the vendor's place. That fees, that charge, that negotiable, economical, that enables the organization to involve more personnel in the training program that is possible when the travel is required. And there are also disadvantages. The fact is that employees are in their own shouting in a distraction since the telephone and emergency can disrupt the training session. This is one of the main limitation of the in-house training because sometimes there's an emergency phone that is acquired or that we have to pick up that can disturb the training session as well as the distraction in the home that may be any reason. So in their own surrounding there is a more distractions. Moreover, when the outside firm came from side, they may many present courses that also emphasize the general concept that requires a lack of sufficient hands on the training. And the training coordinator must recognize its responsibility and deal with advance to ensure that the course content will now needs operating. And the training manuals are also acceptable for the familiarization, but the experience of actually using the equipment, making and correcting the mistakes, and countering the unexpected situations are the best and the most lasting way of learning. And training manuals generally take of the two approaches. Some have the user work through different activities. For example, the checklist is provided to list the steps necessary to implement a system, and each and every individual step is listed in the proper order. That means each and every individual step, checklist, checkout, that will be listed in the proper order. And the most common approach is to create a case study sample or case study example that includes each and every frequency, that is all frequently encountered situations that the system is able to handle and that the users should be able to handle. Then the users must see the system to handle the actual situations, that is entering the data as required, processing the data and preparing the reports. And during training, system personnel should be alert to the command that be made by the users or to the problem that users may encounter. And despite of the testing, awkward keying requirement to enter the data, unexpected transactions or the unusual training or ways of preparing the transaction may still arise during the training. And the trainer must be certain to involve systems personnel when the problem in the design are found, while assisting the users who are reluctant to change from their old ways to the new methods. So, Larry, your doubt is clear? Yeah. Any other doubts, anyone? Yes, Nicholas. When we talk about the multiple conversion methods, if we compare the different methods, every method have a different pros and the cons. So every different have a different, or every method have a different advantages and the disadvantages. That may be a parallel system, that may be a direct conversion, pilot system, phase-in system. Yeah, this is the system conversion methods. Yeah, I agree with your point that there is no way to select one of the method that is very good method. It's because parallel system, when you talk about the parallel system, that is everything is done normally, but there is a high operating cost. Direct conversion, we are lacking with the data. That is also limitation, but everything is okay. Money is okay, time is okay. But when you talk about the pilot system, that takes at least, or we can say that most the 1 year to complete to the new system that is known as a pilot system. Phase-in is very, we can say the much disadvantage is that whenever there is a project that is going on, there is a lack of the fair trail. If you're asking for the better system, according to me, this is not according to the book, according to me, this is the pilot system that is very best, because pilot system means we are focusing on one system, we are making the new system, or we are installing the new system in only one department. That department will be affected, not other departments will be affected. So that is one of the best approach out of the available approach. But again, I'm saying that every approach, every method have some limitations, have some advantages. So there is no way to find out that which is the best method. Like when we talk about the different types of computers like CPU, ALU, different units, everything is required, because without ALU, nothing is doing calculations. Without MU, there is no storage. Without CU, there is no controlling. So everything is part of the CPU. In the same way, in every system is very much comfortable with the converting, or very much comfortable with the conversion methods. Now let's move to the question answers. So the first question that arises is to compare the different conversion method with each other. So one is a pilot testing. So first one is a parallel system, then there is a direct conversion, then there is a, first one is parallel, then direct conversion, pilot system, and phase-in method. So these are the five conversion method that is available when we convert the system from the old method to the new method. Then explain the operating plan. Now this question is from to the Joseph, that explain the operating plan. What is the operating plan that is carried out? Yeah, correct. That operating plan is a plan that is used how to operate the systems, how we can build the new system, or what are the various pros and the cons of the new system. Then to what extent training is very important? The answer is that training is very much important in each and every aspect of the system, because without training, nothing is possible. You don't know how to use the system, you don't know what are the various parts of a system, how to deal with, how to handle them very carefully. So training is very much important for each and every task. So you have to write the advantages of the training, methods of training in these answers. Next is a statement-based question, that is conversion is simple. Do you agree? Justify. So what's your reply, Larry? I want a reply from each and every student. Conversion is simple. Do you agree? Yes or no? If yes, then justify. If no, then justify. So according to Joseph, that conversion is very simple, yes. Then according to Larry, no. Nicholas, yes. My question is, Joseph, how conversion is very simple? As I said right now, that there are various methods which we are using for converting from the old system to new system. There are some drawbacks, some advantages. So why this is simple method? So the conversion is not simple. We do not agree with the statement the conversion is simple. We have to work hard. We have to see the scenarios. What is the scenario for the conversion? How we can convert from the old system to the new system? What are the various drawbacks? What are the various advantages? So there are so many things that is kept in the mind before using the conversion methods. So conversion is one of the difficult tasks in the system analyst or system analyst. uses their pros and the cons for the conversion method. So that is not the easy system or easy method or a simple method. Now, what is training system operators? Training system operators means who are the operators who train the personals, who train the different persons, that is how to use a system, what are the capabilities of the system, why training is so much required, how to handle them, give a practical approach we can say, and the live approach, that is in a live environment, in a live data, how we can manage the system, how we can handle the system, how we can use the system. That is training system operators. The operators are nothing but the persons who are giving the training, nothing else. Okay, now this chapter is also finished. I'm repeating again. Any doubts, anyone in this chapter, that is chapter number 9. So the next chapter is chapter number 10 that I'm going to take within the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class. So chapter name is hardware and the software selection. Till now we have discussed about what are the various system admin problems, what are the system admin scenarios, what are the various training methods. Now next chapter is chapter number 10, what are the various hardware and the software selection, how we can select from the hardware and the software, what are the various hardware methods, what are the various software methods that is developed within the organizations. So this topic, I'm going to take within the next class, that is the tomorrow's class. All right. So I'm repeating again, if there is any doubts regarding the assignments, regarding this module, regarding this chapter, regarding any module, any assignments, you can ask the doubts either through the chatting, either through the, yeah, tell me. Hello. I'm sending you an assignment right now for office solution development within 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay. Yes. What about Joseph? Whether, yeah, what is the, where is the assignment of the procedure oriented or procedure programming? Yes, Nicholas, I got your assignment for the research skill in the, yeah, today itself. I got it. I'm talking about the assignment of the procedure programming for the Joseph assignment. So please submit the assignments